this. Anyone who watches anime will leap to tell you that the idea animation is just for kids is laughable on its face. Most likely, they'll then immediately point whoever said the wrong thing to Akira or Ghost in the Shell or something similar. Films that explore violence, sexuality, and other difficult aspects of the human condition in a vivid, imaginative manner that live-action films struggles to match. It's an easy case to make since Hollywood failed a very high-profile flop.
We do have the Idahoans.
It's true.
Yeah, just...
Do we want to Frankenstein it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pick a flavor. Have fun.
Frankenstein.
Still, I don't think that it's a particularly convincing argument to anyone outside our fellow photographers. If it were, we wouldn't have to keep having this conversation. Akira and Kids are both great movies with interesting things to say, but they're also niche, overtly geeky properties with a cult reputation that are every bit as easy as cartoons for the uninformed to dismiss out of hand. I do think we're on the right track with them, though, because in addition to being very popular animated films that children very obviously should not watch, they highlight a lot of things that animation has to offer for, well, everyone. The wild, imaginative, immersive world of Neo Tokyo that Hollywood struggled to effectively realize on modern computers and a $110 million budget was originally brought to very convincing life on paper in paint for a little over a decade, about $60 million adjusted for inflation. Animation makes it substantially easier and more economical to realize basically any setting or scenario you can imagine that's not real-world present day. And that strength is by no means limited to the genre fiction that nerdy man-children like me love. You know, I've heard those respectable adults enjoy their period dramas, and animation can just as easily transport us to any place that has ever existed without spending a dime on sets or costumes. Showa Rakugo Shinju is a dramatic, compelling tale of life and legacy centered around the declining traditional one-man performance art and across decades from pre-war Japan up through the end of the Showa era in the 1980s.
5 cups of water, 2 cups of milk, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And a stick of butter. That's what we always did. And I can't see how that wouldn't improve any instant
Yeah,
match.
I'm just sitting here going, do we have enough? Can I use cream as well?
Yeah.
You could.
It makes it a bit
Are we
richer.
low on milk?
Yeah.
I didn't
Well,
realize
so we have
that.
to try and get that at least.
We'll grab it tomorrow.
But yeah, feel free to. I mean, cream would just make it fucking decadent.
Mm-hmm.
Do it.
So
Do it.
I grabbed some sour cream.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Honestly, if we've got enough cream, just do it.
Just fucking do it, cream.
Yeah.
Fuck milk. Don't fuck milk, please.
Please. Please? Please?
For me, that would be very difficult to tell. It's just the tip of the iceberg. From Demon Slayer and Sam, more serious it's sort of stranger to be unsurprised the anime offers samurai stories for literally days. Later, imagine, mature, and generally in any medium for the civilian horrors of the Second World War.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This anime is limited to Japanese settings. It's basically a Quentin Tarantino movie set in 30s gangland New York with some detours into the 1700s, both down for the Americans, and Victorian romance. Explain a bit as for me with that title. This year's Fall is a passionate humoristic movie. Make it as an artist and working man to rule the 16th century Florence. The remote legend of Arslan is a tale of historical warfare set in an obvious analog to 4th century Persia, and forget Assassin's Creed and blood. You will not find a more immersive and compelling portrayal of Viking life and Viking warfare than last year's Vinland Saga. Of course, cartoons and anime aren't going to win out in terms of realism and Hollywood CGI, which are also also animation that you get. You do have to engage your imagination a bit to fully immerse yourself in any of these settings. But it's its upsides. With your disbelief already suspended, you're more receptive to events fantastical, impossible, and highly improbable, and perfect animations. Very good is bringing such events to life. That, of course, means high-flying beam battles, mind-bending magic shows, but it also applies to awe-inspiring aspects of our own reality. Selling a devastating, world-shaking earthquake from major motion picture into possibilities. In animation, though, it only costs as much as 100 drawings. And yet, the quake in the first episode of Japan Sing 2020 strikes me as more shocking and brutal than just about any scene in any disaster film I've ever watched. And moving back to Barefoot again, this one scene will forever color how I imagine nuclear meltdown. And you know, I really don't think a more realistic, high-fidelity rendition of the same events would hit the same way. Yeah, it'd be better with more exposed muscle and bone and all gross, unsettling stuff. But I cannot imagine anything better conveying the feeling of final moments stretching into an agonizing eternity as your very eyes are stripped away than this sequence of drawings with this line work, this scope shading, and there benefits to the inherent in animation beyond sudden spectacle, helping us comprehend the incomprehensible. By simplifying the human form, streamlining our expressions and emotions, yeah, I could lose a bit of the nuance of a live performance, but you can also isolate and amplify emotions well beyond the limits of mortal meat. The most obvious example of this is animated comic. Cartoons can just push slapstick and exaggerated reactions way farther than action. And this is one area where your average American adult does seem to appreciate the medium. Raunchy animated sitcoms are big business after all, but it can hit just as hard going the other, jerking those tears straight out of their ducts. The last 10 minutes of Anohana, or for any non-weebs watching, the first 10 minutes of Up, are a testament to just how raw and powerful animation can be. This is another place where everyone does seem to be in general agreement. Google saddest moments in film, and you'll be hard-pressed to find a list that isn't laden with Disney movies. And you probably don't even have to think about it to an animated movie that hit you hard right in the feels. Perhaps these moments just stick with us because they get us when we're young, or maybe the heightened imaginative mindset animation encourages also makes us a little more receptive to emotional sincerity. I speak from
The thing was framing that was outdated by August.
Is it open?
No?
It should be fine.
Okay. You just had some buildup on the top.
No, that's just the cream rising.
Okay. You just kind of...
Yeah, give it a shake.
Should be fine?
Yeah.
I mean, if you really want us to take a sniff, but cream doesn't go off the same way that...
I don't smell anything.
Yeah, cream doesn't go off the same way that full milk does.
Or doesn't diminish with age. I can also say that it is not all to say sure. Shiju is a full-blown existential crisis that will make you think things you don't from angles you never even considered. So is budget enforcement. Or a lot of enriching experience. But there are also a lot of enriching all ages experiences, and enriching experiences aimed squarely at children. And I think a big mistake that a lot of fans alike make is dismissing those experiences and to focus on all the adult stuff that I've just talked about. The sense of R really addresses the problem of stuff like the Wix Club, Powerpuff Girls, and Riverdale. Those shitty, gritty live remakes and reboots happen because people want to enjoy new content based on very kid-friendly concepts. I mean, clearly, just look at how much money superheroes and fairy tales make, just with a bit of plausible replayability. I'm going to drop a hot take. It is normal, good and healthy even, for adults to enjoy things made for kids. And
Yeah.
just things that were made for kids when they were kids, because let's be real here, a lot of you motherfuckers are spending a lot of money on vintage Pokemon cards and whatnot right now, and I know that pretty much everyone watching watching this has spent at least a little bit of their time watching something from their youth in order to briefly escape from reality. But escapism and nostalgia are not the only value to be found in these works. Some of my favorite pieces of media over the last few years are cartoons I've watched on Netflix, and not just the one about the alcoholic horse. I've talked before about how the Trinity Prince feels like a proper spiritual successor to Avatar. Klaus is a pitch-perfect Christmas movie that outstrips just about everything. Even when The Age of Wonder Beasts comes the closest out of pretty much any post-apocalyptic media I've seen to capturing a very specific vibe of Nausicaa, albeit it's straight enchanting. There's nothing that can really compare it to off the top of my head besides maybe Rupert and Tintin, kinda. It's still on a small screen, trolls, things, all-consuming sentient void creatures, good shit through and through. And there's Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is pretty much peak television. It eschews the story and lore-driven style of other recent TMNT adaptations. Wait, I guess the 2000s isn't recent anymore. Oh, in favor of telling tight episodic stories with an almost Looney Tunes feel to it. But also, it still has heavy continuity and lore. A lot of stuff is implied to happen off screen between all the interesting bits that we get to watch. And this formula results in both the best comedy and the best action of any iteration of this franchise, or none, while still delivering some really good character. If you can get over your hangups and engage with cartoons like these earnestly, you may be surprised by how much you take away from them. It's easier said than done. We all cringe when we think about our younger selves and things that remind us of the sort of things we liked back then.
Not really.
These specific things we liked back then that we have nostalgia for are inevitably going to evoke that reaction. You know, when I contemplate which parts of my youth I cringe the hardest at, the many years where I laughed my ass off at Nick Splat's slime and fart jokes versus the moment I convinced my friend his birthday would be better spent watching a comedy for adults like The Love Guru instead of Kittycraft like Paul Lee, it's not even a question. There was a distressing period in my life when I thought Zack Snyder was a mature, thoughtful, where there's more artistic nuance in that one episode of Justice League cartoon where Batman talks to the terrifying psychic then it's entirely together.
Yep.
Also, Warner Brothers Animation did that take on Lex Luthor and used Superman and Batman and butting heads way back in 1997. And you'd probably be better off watching either of those instead of waiting to be disappointed by the same movie twice, but you do. I come to realize that what appealed to Snyder's movies and
I mean, I'm sorry. Warner Brothers is in for a rough time if they're gonna try, if they think they could potentially outdo Justice League and Justice League Unlimited.
Mm-hmm.
Those shows are
literally.
Those shows really were just, and indeed still are, fucking amazing.
But I also could have just not worried about that and enjoyed myself. I often see familiar sentiments echoing through the online anime community. A common refrain is otaku decrying kid shows like Boruto as they sing the praises of more mature anime like Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan is literally a cartoon for children. Or, if you really want to split hairs, teenagers, the original manga is serialized in the Satsu Shonen magazine. That's a supplemental magazine for boys. And a spin-off of a weekly magazine for boys that also runs series like Paho Girl, Animal Land, A Maidens in Your Savage Season, and The Heroic Legend of Arsene. To be fair, Kodansha's magazines do seem to skew toward a slightly older demographic than Comedic Shonen Jump, with darker themes and a bit more bloody violence, but to be balanced, it ain't that much older. If it was actually aimed at adults, Attack on Titan would have been published in a seinen magazine, typically differentiated from their shonen counterparts by having real naked ladies on their covers instead of cartoon ones. Also, they usually have young in their titles because seinen roughly translates to young man, which is a bit confusing, but that's all beside the point. Which is that in Japan, it's generally understood and accepted that teenage boys want to look at blood and titties as much as anyone, if not more so, and that there's good money in providing that service to them. Instead of deciding who gets to read what based on arbitrary aesthetic signifiers of maturity that puritanical American uses the too hot for kids to handle in the 1950s, Japanese publishers sell comics and anime games to demographics they believe will best understand and appreciate the stories being told and their underlying themes. So you can have an anime or manga where a college-age loser falls in love with a softcore escort and frequently sees her and her coworkers in various states of undress, or a dude gets into increasingly complicated sexual situations with his two adopted sisters, one of whom is his teacher, and have both be shonen because they're kind of immature and get down to it. And on the flip side, a sweet high school rom-com about two borderline narcissists trying to trick each other into confessing first makes a running gag out of its lack of fan service, can fit comfortably into a seinen anthology because its storylines and humor are kind of complex and mature. Now, with all that said, being for kids doesn't mean Attack on Titan is empty-headed, just that it's accessible. It explores what trauma, loss, disaster, fear of the other, propaganda, and societal militarization do to people on a mass scale, which is pretty heavy stuff. It just unpacks those ideas in a way that young folks can understand and engage with. And clearly that doesn't make it anything to a vast number of outlets. The same goes for One Piece's exploration of power structures, exploitation, good reasons to light flags on fire. The way Mob Psycho grapples with failure, self-improvement, and empathy, and Spider-Verse's handling of loss, responsibility, and the importance of acting when you have to act, whether you're ready or not. Avatar: The Last Airbender is many people's go-to example of a show that talks to kids without depth. It tackles cycles of abuse, systemic violence, war, genocide, propaganda, and fascism in a way that anyone can understand without diminishing their impact. It's also got lots of snot gangs and penguin slut. And while a lot of Avatar fans scoff and roll our eyes at those bits, framing them as something you have to get through to get to the good stuff, something I've said in the recent past before watching the whole thing, Avatar really wouldn't be Avatar without them. And not just because they balance out the serious stuff with some much-needed levity. They're essential to making the whole thing work. Aang's childish antics are a coping mechanism. He goofs off to avoid thinking about his responsibilities and other difficult adult stuff. That's why, right after he's unfrozen, he wants to go penguin slut instead of, ask what happened to the air nomads. It's why when he gets to Amashu, where his best friend, who's either 112 years old or dead, live, he runs off to hijack the slots. It's why the zaniest episodes of the whole series of Nightmares and Daydreams and the Ember Island players come in the immediate lead-up to its absolute darkest moments. The tension between Avatar's serious emotional content and its goofy cartoon nonsense for kids is Aang's internal conflict. So if you try to make a movie or prestige drama out of Avatar that casts away those childish aspects and focus on serious fantasy world building adults are here for, all you're going to do is ruin the whole thing. On the other hand, if you embrace those aspects for what they are and try to have fun along with Aang instead of pretending you're above it all, you'll come away with a much more complete understanding of the series' themes and characters, and probably just have a better time watching it too. Same goes for One Piece, only with reading, because the anime really draws out the ruins of gaps. Although, in my opinion, not as much as trying to make it live action, where most of its action world building, since all of that is predicated on being a cartoon. All I know is there, no anime. Okay, I'll be honest, I was really rambling and struggling to find a way to wrap this all up, but then I saw that a far better influencer than myself, Korone, recently said that her favorite anime is Curious George. Yep, same for me. And, look, if you don't think you'd be happier and more fulfilled if you lived your life a little more like Korone in both a spiritual sense and a physical, coming full of fingers sense, I don't know what to tell you except that you're objectively wrong. Embrace the cringe that makes you happy. Reject the cringe that revels in mindless misery, and go watch some good fucking cartoons. I'm Jeff Boo, professional shitbag.
Shitbags from my mother's basement.
I forgot. But
Ooh, you can throw it in now.
Yes, I'm doing. But yeah, It'll melt quick. Ooh, one person's watching.
Yeah, me.
Yeah, that's why I had no problem starting the stream whilst I was actively sharing the thing.
Yeah, I mean, even if it, when it goes up, I can actually edit out that bit if I need to, or mute it or whatever. But overall,
But, it is true. And while I do admit that the Attack on Titan is indeed quite good, there's 2 reasons why after the first season I didn't go back. The first is undeniably that I had to wait too long.
mm-hmm.
The excitement died down. But the corollary to that is, after the excitement did die down, I was not compelled to go back to it.
Yeah. It is basically on at least with Attack on Titan, it's basically it comes basically telling you outright this is effectively misery porn. We are going to make these characters absolutely miserable.
The really sad thing is that the misery porn isn't what made me not want to go back.
Oh really?
Oddly enough.
What was it?
I couldn't put my finger on anything in precise, but then when he mentioned that it's basically that, when you look at this, and mind you, this is in no way an indictment, I too will shout from the hills, for children doesn't mean shit except that children can totally get it. But, when he pointed out the target demographic the story was originally intended for.
You were past that.
And I am not even remotely, nor have I ever been that target demographic. So while I appreciate the quality of the animation and the acting and the storytelling and the themes, good, strong stuff. In the end, I am simply not its intended audience, and in practice, it shows. That when it comes down to it, while I can appreciate it, it's not a thing I really want to go back to. Whereas, while I've never gotten into Steven Universe, I still keep coming back to it. Individual scenes or bits of episodes I've seen, and of course, top shelf.
Mm-hmm.
But that I will go back to, because that's far, well, I'm not, obviously not the intended audience, that's far more my personal bag.
Yeah.
Its nuances are more the way I like to go.
Mm-hmm.
Especially as I'm getting fucking older. So it's the, as always, I am perfectly capable of acknowledging a thing is of good quality, while at the same time saying it's so not me.
Yeah.
But,
should I wait for this to cool down before I put on the cream, and just go for it?
Go for it.
Okay.
yeah, you pour in the liquid, and then you mix in the thing. I mean, you've turned off the heat, right?
Yeah.
Then you're fine. You pour in the milks, and then you pour in the powders, and then you mix. The fact that it's cream makes no difference from the fact that it's milk in that sense.
Fair enough. I just didn't know if cream was more fertile or something.
No. Only if you put like lemon juice in it.
Yeah, there's nothing in there that would make it curdle. I mean, heat in theory, but it's already got milk solids in there from the butter. Yeah. And there's nothing in, if you did use stock, there's nothing innate in the stock that would have affected either.
I did use stock.
Oh yeah, I smell it.
I thought I smelled that, but I wasn't going to assume. Because we all know what happens when you assume.
Make an ass assume.
Indeed we do.
Who's Sue?
Somebody.
Now.
Potions are overpowered in Minecraft. And Venom.
Potions are overpowered no matter where you're at. Just because an easy fix to get out of something that all you have to do is brew, yeah, that's overpowered. That's not how it works in real life.
Antibiotics?
That's not how it works. There's plenty of people who would state that that's not how it works in real life. They're wrong, but
Why do they think that potions are overpowered?
Because
Wow, Lad has gone all in on her submission.
Yeah.
Well, not even just that. She's put, there's a whole subset of Netherboat entries, and she has just taken all the shots and all the things. So her entry, if you care to, since you're leaning over, plenty of space to test out the ice path, how it could connect to existing roads, in theory, or at least for crossing. Connection to a very close portal or a small tunnel, which is my goal.
Yeah.
Access to the Nether, placed periodically for resources or biomes. Nice. With doors in them.
That's good.
Covered in netherrack, no problem. To code up. A design for the hub, adjacent. Nice big salt thing there, and big dome thing. Tunnels light coded for navigation, so that's her idea for the navigation coding.
That's to north, south, east,
west. Yep, is which lighting is used. Information about spawnable locations. So, Nether hub. Hubs are gas proof. That's. If it becomes an issue, whatever. Main hub includes a large stump. Other hubs would not. Plenty of room to turn with an elytra and not die. Nice. If you're flying, you just land on top and drop into the portal. High ceilings for not dying. Look at that whole thing. That's another shot from the hub from up top.
Again, she's such a mega
Respawn anchor is basically in the center of the thing. Possible mailboxes or did you die kits if barrel column is used.
Yeah. It's cool.
So yeah, of the things I saw, granted they were in progress, but of the things I saw, it looked.
She's actually just putting a lot of thought into it.
Oh yeah, she was already my first choice so far, but
yeah, if anything, I kind of like the more arch style and stuff because it means that in areas where there is more view, we can just fill it with glass.
Heck, her arches are full of glass.
Yeah.
Even down the tunnels. The other design was just for when you're going through netherrack to replace it with wood.
Yeah.
So it still looks bad.
The fact that I really want to tell Rob that he's got arch design. Design.
Bold of you to assume that we won't tell her that.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I know, but it's one thing.
Let alone it's yeah. Well, at the same time, we're both sitting here talking about it. So if she ends up watching my stream, she will hear us talking about that we like that one. Hell, it hits some of the things that come on, this new Nether is so gorgeous. It is pretty, and everyone, I see on these servers and stuff are just making all these tunnels that, while lovely, just completely hide, all the beauty, and you don't get to see the Nether, and they don't think about things like, oh, we need to have access so people can actually be able to get into the Nether, because there's still stuff you need. It's kind of hard to go, hunting piglins or, mining for stuff or, just...
Without various exit points.
Yeah.
There is mash. It's a little soupy, but
give it a little time.
I've done what I can. I added a third packet, so
that'll definitely solve the problem.
Yeah, part of it is you just got to let it also set a bit too, so it can firm up.
Evaporate and stuff. Fair enough. It will coagulate with time, regardless.
Yep. You want the Asian blend or the seasoned?
Unless you had plans for it, I'd say the 80s.
I have no plans.
Yeah. No thought of it.
You know, at the moment, the only thing going through my head is the I'm queen, whatever I wanna be.
The most least evil
You
person
person
in
in history,
and
if you do not
believe
believe me, I totally won't question your family, 'cause that'd be evil, and that's so not me.
I exist against my will.
Indeed.
Apparently, a couple comments I've gotten off the Discord from some of my friends who've watched the stream. Their favorite bits. We started singing. Yeah, Tori sung Ruben Ronzo and Golden Chariot.
Golden Chariot, yeah.
Chirk came in. Yes, Chirk came in and requested a shanty for from the captain. Coke. Spruce.
Really, though, it is pretty appropriate. The first Star Wars film unable to make its budget back is the one that belongs to Han Solo. I'm telling you, I've got the money. I don't have it with me.
The beautiful thing, man.
I have 3 chickens: Kylo Hen, Hen Solo, and General Clucks.
Someone's having fun.
With chickens. So, if we're okay with killing 2% of the population to reopen the economy, I have a modest proposal. We could just kill everybody on the Forbes billionaire list. Way less dead, only 3,000 or so, and the 7.8 trillion that we take from them would allow excellent medical care. No, that's immoral? I thought so too, but you were the one who suggested 9 million dead to reopen the economy would be fine. My proposal reduces that to 3,000 and restarts the economy with a giant bang. Almost 50% increase of the GDP. Still immoral? One doesn't just go around killing people to add more money to the GDP?
Yeah.
And that goes on like indeed one. freshman year of high school, we had this teacher who was really fucking annoying and hated cell phones with a fucking passion. At the beginning of the school year, he had us sign this goddamn contract that we wouldn't have it in class, or he would confiscate it. So this annoying douchebag kid was on his phone, and the teacher went, "You have to give it to me now. You signed the contract." And the kid didn't even look that up and said, "Contracts signed by a minor are not legally binding," and continued to text. And I hated that kid, but dare I say, iconic. Anyway, he got detention for it, but I just found out he got into law school this year.
The signs were all there, man.
Estelle, no, pushed off his hand away, taking a few feet away. It appears it may be time for me to stop writing and go to bed. I too take a few feet away. As you push off his hand away. Somebody tweeted as Chekhov from the new Star Trek of this. But how will Santa Claus get on the ship if I don't leave the airlock open for him?
Flawless logic. I hunger and it is super late for me, so I'm going to go consume food.
I see American politics a bit like Kingdom Hearts. Nobody gets what's going on. You fight for health. Donald is there. Mm-hmm. A Soviet soldier training his backflip tomahawk throw. Imagine being some poor German child who's just been conscripted in 1945, and the last thing you see is fucking Chad Ivan 360 no-scoping your ass with a tomahawk while doing a backflip with enough vodka in the system to kill a bear.
Yes, we hear you. It's also parent season. There appears to be something more sold.
Coming from a professional event planner, weddings are egregiously expensive because companies openly raise prices at the word wedding. Pro tip, never drop the word wedding while planning if you don't need to. Most things can be for an event you're planning. This obviously doesn't include things like the venue, DJ, and specific wedding songs, and the wedding dress company if you're going that route versus just buying goods. For my wedding, I got discounted cupcakes, flowers, quote-unquote discounted cupcakes, flowers, decor, bridesmaids' dresses, groomsmen attire, and invitations. I did this by searching for things that aren't marketed for weddings, or not telling the companies I was working with that it was for a wedding, because honestly, most of the time, they don't need to know why you're ordering.
Yeah.
Companies target people planning their weddings and mark up everything second wedding is set. And it's said often because people assume services change exponentially for weddings. They absolutely do not. The best example are the cupcakes I have for my wedding. Or because they're exciting.
Mm-hmm.
The best example are the cupcakes I have for my wedding. I used the designer cupcake store in town instead of spending $1,000 on a wedding cake. If you place a large order of cupcakes with the cake tree for display, it costs about $150 for 100, which is what I did. When you order their quote-unquote wedding package, the price is raised to $700 base for 100 cupcakes. The only perk includes a tasting. Forget that. Our tasting was buying a few cupcakes and flavors we thought we liked, and then picked 3. It cost maybe $20. What these companies do is scummy and target people who don't have anything about the event industry. I will yell it from the rooftops until people realize that there's a better way. Just like that's actually good.
Mm-hmm.
You just do what we did and, skip the whole fancy shindig.
Skip the whole shindig, yep.
Skip the absurd pomp and circumstance thing. Make it a lovely little, nice but informal affair.
It's like, on the one hand, I love the idea of weddings because they're so pretty.
Well, they're very visually pleasing. It's not like it's a bad thing to want to share such a thing with your friends and your family. Even if you, don't buy into the bullshit that marriage suddenly literally changes your relationship. It's still a big step, and it's a fine excuse to have a lovely party and have pretty things, and
Mm-hmm.
it should certainly be memorable, and Lord knows ours was memorable. Even if
And it's like, I know
Yeah.
a lot of people who are more like, yeah, no, we won't have a wedding, but we'll have a reception.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's
have the
legit.
big party. Then hey, guess what? Remember we got married. Let's go eat and drink and be merry.
It's like, it's like, I'm pretty certain I'm not gonna get married. If I do, it's likely gonna be for taxes.
It's pretty much why we got married.
Pretty much.
And legal rights and stuff.
Yeah. It's gonna be for legal shenaniganery, not for...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in theory, if the person that you really do, have, made your relationship with really did want, grew up wanting that, that's fine.
Yeah.
For them.
Yeah,
You would do it for them.
Yeah, if they really fucking wanted a wedding, it's like, yeah, sure. We're just gonna go about this.
We're not going to bankroll ourselves.
No.
All right. I'm settling in to just zone while I eat, and then zone until I've digested enough to go to bed.
Okay.
Because that's where my headspace is. So
I am also going to eat. Quite plausibly talk to Silver for a little bit because she's back on. Boop. I booped the kitty. Do you want legs or thighs?
I'd like a leg, please.
Okay. You want to eat now or later?
I'd like some now. All right, let's see here. I need hay bale. That's what I came down for. Whatever I get handed.
Anything else on particular?
I'm good with that for now. If I want some more, I can get something later.
Those potatoes you bring home those just elevate the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. You can also do it too by like adding sour cream.
Well, that was sour cream and onion mix. So. Although I imagine straight up adding sour cream would probably be good.
Oh yeah.
Even choosing sour cream and potatoes. And then you took all the broccoli.
She's got her headphones on. She can't hear you.
Yeah, I know. I know she can't. Doesn't really need to, but she's like, you want a fork or spoon?
Fork, please.
I have so many decisions. That enough of things?
Yeah.
If we don't finish this, you can always, or the chicken, I mean, you can always use it in your soup later.
Mm-hmm. Stuff it in with the turkey.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. You know, I love that as a species, we basically put all of our stats into um, effectively intelligence, specifically technology intelligence, socialize, and stamina.
Mhm.
And then also luck.
Yeah.
That's where we put all of our stats. I swear, our constitution and wisdom is a dump stat. Humans are min-maxed. And I love the user spaceworks things that sit there and go like, no, humans will bond to anything. No, you don't understand. Humans will bond to anything. They will bond to an idea. It's not even the if they see it, they'll bond to it. They find out it exists, they might bond to it. You never know.
Mm-hmm. It may not even exist, but they'll still bond to it.
Mm-hmm. It can be objectively wrong, and they will bond to it. To the detriment of themselves and everything and everyone around them.
Mm-hmm.
Once it makes like a zero logical test. Yep. Get it there. That is both the most annoying thing about humans and the most endearing.
Yep. What?
Huh?
Yeah, my fork slid off the thing.
Ah.
I mean, I'm done with it, but I gotta find the fork.
Yeah.
Oh well. I'll get her some cookies anyway.
Dang.
Yesterday I did cocoa and cookies, but it ended up being excessively rich, and I was feeling it in the morning, so I think I'm just.
Yeah.
Although it made for a good combo last night. So. But yeah, I feel it in the morning.
Well, I'm full.
Barely touched the chicken.
I know. I got a leg and I got a wing.
I took a decent chunk of a breast.
I'd actually like a little bit more chicken.
What kind?
I don't know. Bit of the, I guess, you
We
know.
don't have another leg. I ate that one.
I know. To go with, I don't know, thigh and breast and just whatever. Just hand me whatever.
Hey, Albie. Yeah.
Please go.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Yeah, she's in a lot of pain.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was not paying attention.
Potatoes actually came pretty good though.
Mm-hmm.
Rich as fuck. Well, that cream for you. I really am struggling to not finish them today, but just not to pig out on the cookies.
Yeah, those cookies are really good. I was almost tempted to grab another thing of them.
What stopped you?
I want it to be good. I know, bad
Christmas
decision.
is coming.
Yeah.
Practically, yeah.
I know, bad decision on my part, but
Well, if I end up going back for frozen stuff in the near future, they'll still have the cookies. I can amend your bad decision. Seriously, they're all winners. Well, I've had better versions of some of them, like the gingerbread.
Uh-huh.
They're all winners. They all just Just full of tasty. There is nothing in there that makes me go, nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Spiders Georg? Or the Spiders George?
I think so.
Yeah, the outlier should not be counted.
Uh-huh.
So somebody put down this, and I think you'll like this. The thing about writing fantasy stories is that language is so based on history that it can be hard to decide how far suspension of disbelief carry you word choice wise. What do you call a French braid in a world with no France? Can a Queen Anne neckline be described if there was no Queen Anne? Where do you draw the line? Can you use the word Platonic if Plato never existed? Can you name a character Chris in a land without Christianity? Can you even say bungalow in a word where there was no Indian language for the word to originate from? Is there a single word in any language that doesn't have a story behind it? To be accurate, a fantasy world would have to be written in fantasy language. But who has time for that? Tolkien had the time, apparently.
Yeah.
Listen, linguistics Georg, who invented over 10,000 conlangs each day, is an outlier and should not have been counted. I like that one.
Yeah, because I mean, literally the whole conceit of the
is that it's translated.
Yeah, and so thus he had to, use words that were the equivalent.
Mm-hmm.
Because you see that, especially if you read the Similarians and stuff, is that he writes those in a much more academic way with footnotes and everything.
Mm-hmm. Oof. That moment when you realize that all the adorable people you play as in Kingdom Hearts Chi are going to Kingdom Hearts Key are for each other in a glorious battle for Lush that became the Keyblade Wars. Your character's fates die in battle. Their Keyblade is probably already in the graveyard. It's just like, oh, do that to me.
Mm. So, chicken?
Yeah. Chicken. You said you wanted to fry and breast.
Yeah, a little bit of.
A little bit dark, a little bit light.
Yeah.
And then go ahead and toss the bone. Unless you would like to suck the marrow.
No.
I didn't think so.
I mean, the only use that they'd have would be if we wanted to throw them into the soup to add more flavor, but.
We need to just do that with the rest of the bones we got. And honestly, we don't even need to do that.
Uh-huh.
We'll be using chicken stock and turkey with spices on it. It's got enough flavor.
Are you sure?
I will kill you.
You would do that to your mother?
My mom is not good. my mom's enough of a strawberry shortcake, I will most certainly go the rocky road after her. Lay your hands. Lay your hands. Yes, I thought you might like the linguistics world building thing because you who is waiting is just getting ready to draw characters' anatomy so you can hear back from your linguist.
Yep.
You want more potatoes?
Nah.
You who read an entire geological survey on a volcano. I mean, I do, but I don't. It's like, look, I get wanting to make your world feel real, but come on. There's gotta be a line somewhere. You just have to look up inside yourself and say, what am I willing to put up with today? Not that.
Well, you're not, but I am.
I don't know how you do it. It's impressive and also terrifying.
I just love world building.
No, No, you really do love world building.
It is literally my favorite part of any story, is building the world.
It can certainly be fun. Lord knows I know we've had times where we just sat there and world build something instead of actually playing it.
Yep.
Yo, get your butt down! Or I throw something at you. Yo. Don't make me throw something. Okay.
I still remember growing up, one of my favorite times was with my baby sister, and we did, we created our own fantasy world. And, with our own magic system, the whole thing. And, we had it all worked out and whatnot, and our friends thought it was so cool, and they all ended up making characters and playing games in the world we created.
Very fun.
Yeah, I mean, we even had...
Who's after your chicken?
Mine.
Oh no, I'm just coming to cuddle, that is all.
Mm-hmm.
You are. You ever think about how those are acting not unlike how early humans probably did, and you're just like, oh, okay. Saw a thing one time about how the earliest sign of civilization is a healed femur, because it shows that we were taking care of each other, because if we didn't, a broken leg would mean we died because we can't do things.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking about this, and I remembered also seeing an article about this one mated pair of crows where one of them broke its beak and couldn't properly feed itself on its own, so the other one helped. So basically, I have connected the two dots. I've connected. And also, they not only use tools, but teach each other how to construct them. So, that makes you think. Realistically, I know immortality would kind of suck, but I'd love to see what crows do. It's just like, yep, crows are going to be the dominant species of the planet. Our downfall is their Stone Age. First century AU fic where the founding fathers write the Declaration of Independence using Google Docs. You guys stop deleting everything I write. Unalienable. Inalienable. So help me, I will lock this document if you don't stop changing the font size, John Hancock. Stop highlighting it. Everything. The entire freaking document. For the last time, we are not declaring our independence in Comic Sans. Governor Morris, will you please stop adding in bed after every line? I found it. Post trademark. Imagine one for the new U.S. Constitution. Why is there a red line under Pennsylvania? Because that's not how it's spelled, Alexander. I am like 100% positive I spelled it right. Pennsylvania has 2 N's. No? That's somebody losing their mind over the idea of we're not declaring independence in Comic Sans. It's
Yeah, that's a good one. We're not declaring our independence in Comic Sans. Well, someone seems to think we are. Right.
somebody talking about our persistence hunters
Yep.
and how it's freaking horrifying. Because it is horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
You think of great horror thing from the perspective of an alien.
Yep.
Because basically, we are Jason.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite Final Fantasy character they included in Kingdom Hearts is Sephiroth. Because he has no real purpose to be there. He just shows up, beats up a teenage boy, and leaves.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Siblingless writers really like to use the "Hey sis, hey little bro" format, don't they? This is like, wait, how many people with siblings are greeting each other then? Or how are people with siblings greeting each other then? Hey, hey, dork. You're not a dork. Yes, you are. My mom wants to talk to you.
Yep. Yo, jackass.
Yep. What's up, bleep? Smack.
Or how me and my sister is just the, bitch, I love you too. Sorry, that's how we talk to each other.
If there's not arguing with your siblings and them,
Well, the thing is, if you're doing the sister, brother, okay, there is a real fight going on right now, and wow.
wow, these guys really don't like each other.
Yeah, that or like they totally got an in joke going. Let this bad omen go away. It's been like almost an hour. Weird.
Put away the papers. Ella, would it be okay if I just put the cover back over once it's ready to shove it in the fridge?
Yeah.
I had a feeling it's pretty heavy. What if this was so much less? Sorry?
Well, I think I want to quit for a bit.
Huh?
I was just saying, I think I want to quit for a bit.
Fine.
No, I'm just getting kind of tired. I'm at a point right now where I'm moving things, and that's got to be not very interesting for anybody watching the stream.
Yeah, probably.
All one person, which is probably me.
Sorry. Well, still streaming. Or, well, no, she started streaming again. But she's just finishing up.
Ooh, Caveman just put up a new minigame. Let's see what it is.
We're doing a very, very slow pace of going up this game. Basically D&D. It's a play by post. Everybody has busy lives, so we managed to get like 7 posts maybe a week. What?
Pretty much.
Okay. Well, I will say good evening for now, and see everybody later. All right. Bye. Thanks for being around.